Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me here again on Now We Drive. Orange Mini time today. We've got, I'm sure you saw the last video, we're going to try and sort these seat problems out with the occupancy pad and also the heated seats. Kind of got to think that there's going to be some moisture that's got in. Obviously we've changed the other bits which showed there was a level of water within the car. You can only think there's going to be some corrosion in those seat areas, and there's a lot of electrical gubbins that we're going to have a look at. So let's get straight on getting the seats out and let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's a little bit of corrosion in these connectors, so maybe some kind of bit of a clean up there with some fluid or something. But the more worrying part is if we have a look in here, there's some blue gunk as we saw in the airbag, and also the real worrying one is this bit here, which is, as you can see, the corrosion is really bad. So let's get this module off. This module is the heated seat, and there's the pad here as well, which is, I believe, this thing. So let's disassemble this lot and see what's going on. So this was a bit tricky. So what you have to do, sorry, anyone looking at taking one of these out, you have to basically push this way and it pops out. It took me a little while to figure it out. I didn't want to put too much force on it, but if you can see these very little feet there, they yeah, quite interestingly, a bit of moisture there, shock. Yeah, these just push out this way, yeah? So, pretty easy to do. Now, let's have a look at this module. Now, this heats the seats. Now, if there's that much water in this module, sorry, this much water inside the connectors, you have to think that inside there's going to be some electrical gubbins that I'm not going to take too kindly to being doused in water. So I think this is going to have to go and be replaced. They're not expensive. Now, the other decision we have to make, let me get a bit closer. So we've got a couple of, now the heated seat element, which is this like, looks like the element you got in a cooker, but basically this must heat the seats, I would imagine. That's the heater. Now, this is being completely encased because of obviously any fire risk. Now, obviously there's a little bit of corrosion and a bit of water damage, but all of the power comes through. Let me just get this. I think it's this one here. Now, where is it? Let me just get it right. So I think there's like a send and return, but look, if you look how bad, behind the camera, if we have a look at how bad the corrosion is in here, I could replace the whole compartment. So coming into here, these look all right except for that bluish area just there. But I think what I'll do, I'll replace this, get two new ones of these because both sides of the heated seats don't work, and then clean up these connectors with some kind of connector cleaner to get rid of corrosion, because this one especially, which I think, I'm not sure which one this is, but look, they're all bad. So if we clean them all up and just tidy up that corrosion, we may be okay, because I'm hoping that there will be something in my local auto repair shop that has the correct type of fluid. So I'm looking at it, not through the camera, I will look through the camera so you can see, but as you can see, it's pretty gunky in there. Now I could take these out, but I think if we clean these up with some fluid, let's see what kind of, some kind of penetrating, not penetrating fluid, but some kind of electrical connector fluid will do. Again, I'm kind of slightly guessing here, but I think you clean these up and then we clean up that bit there. The rest of it is pretty clean. Yeah. And clean this up with some fluid. and we'll take it from there, shall we? And let's see what she says after that. But as I say, I don't. The other thing was the occupancy pad. Do you remember we were speaking about that on the last video? Now the pad is here. So let me put my tripod in position again. And I'm all caught up with cables and wires and it's, let me tell you, it is freezing this morning. It's a lovely sunny. Look, let me show you. Okay, so you can see. Look at this for a day. Look, wow, beautiful day here in Hertfordshire. But boy, is it chilly. Chilly. Yeah, it's 2 degrees currently. So the old hands are cold, to say the least. Anyway, enough of my. I'm just happy it's sunny. Put it that way. Anyway, going back to the car. This, as my research has told me now, this part here is the occupancy pad. Now, I can't see. Actually, I can now. There is a small piece of. It looks like a pretty sealed unit. I'm not sure what. If this can it break? Is it because of the connectors? I think I'm going to replace the connectors before. Sorry, I'm going to clean up the connectors before replacing the occupancy pad, because it just slides out, and this you can just basically, they're on little kind of small clips that you just slide over and pull over these here. And the only thing is, I'm not sure where this cable goes. Is this cable just it's just looped? Okay, so this cable. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Yeah, I can see now. Right, so this cable just fits into these connector blocks in here. So it should be, if I need to do it, a pretty easy replacement, because I'm thinking this can come out. Can it come out? Yeah, it can. I'm actually thinking, I'm just saying, sorry, I'm trying to do this as we go, but I'm just thinking these 3 here, they're actually pretty clean. So there's no real point in taking them out. I think, as I say, I'm just going to clean up this area here, which those pins should clean up pretty quickly, I think, with some fluid, and this single pin here. So, right, let's jump onto eBay. Let's order some these modules. Again, they're only cheap, and let's see what we go for. Right, I've just come quickly inside to have a look at this particular part number, and there it is now. It's great because one guy had it up at 99 quid, and I've just bought 2 for 20 quid each. So yeah, eBay. Now let's have a quick look at, if you see, can we get that in focus? I think so, yeah. So if you can see, this is the old module. Can we see that okay? Yeah, you can see it's pretty nasty. Now, it's the new one I got. Well, I say new, it's a second-hand one. Yeah, it's all the same. I did check, but I'm just going mad there. So, as you can see, this is nice and clean. Now, this is back under the car. As you remember, we have some corrosion going on, which, yeah, we've got to sort out, because this is obviously, putting a new module in is not going to be the end of the of our woes. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with these, because there's a lot of corrosion going on. So we need to address that. So what we found on looking around, it was a lot more expensive than the rest of it. But there's a product called Deoxit, which basically, as you can see, removes oxidization. Now, there was some WD-40 style contact cleaner, which was like £5, but this was pretty much on a number of different sites recommended. Now, it was 25 quid for just this little, what was it, 100 mil? Yeah, 142 grams, 5 ounces is American. So yeah, just for this, so 25 quid. But I'm led to believe that this is the bad boy that we need to get our oxidization removed. So let's give it a go, shall we? So it says spray on the affected area. That's what we're doing. and then wait 2 minutes. So I'm going to spray all of the plugs that are underneath. I do like the directional spray. You get right inside. Just trying to see what. Yeah, it's quite an interesting smell actually. It's now what we've got to do as well, if you remember, let's go back in the car. There was an issue, if you remember, in here as well, which is the main connector to under the plug. So we're going to treat this as well. I think that was about it. So we've let it dry out for a couple of minutes. Look already, let's get a little bit closer so you can see. Yeah, I think it's pretty evident that a lot of that corrosion and oxidization, as it's called, has gone, but it's really difficult to see inside the actual connector blocks, but it looks a lot better, that is for sure. That is 100% for sure. But I suppose the proof, again, will only be in the pudding. So let's get this back together. Tuck that bit under. Oops, got my arm in the reference. So, just gonna. We've got a little bit of blueness, but it's only on the yellow. The pins look fine now. Yeah, them pins seem all right now. Actually, I'm just feeling it with my very fine electric screwdriver, and there's no roughness as you'd expect from any oxidization or leftover corrosion. I'm just kind of careful not to. I don't want to bend the pin. I don't want to bend these pins because it's quite slight. I think the only real thing now is we get the thing in the car and we get it tested. Seat is in. I won't bolt it up just yet, just in case we have to. Yeah, just in case we have to take her out again. Would be rather short-sighted of me. Be careful. And then the runners are quite sharp, so on our very pretty entry of the door and leather, we don't want to upset the appearance. This is what's happened now. So we have the heated seat. It's on. But we had a pedestrian. I had this when I took the car apart. Now maybe, let's go back to the menu. Right, there we go. So there we go. So front passenger restraint system. So if I click on it, it comes up with a service request. Passenger restraint system fault. Ensure seatbelt is fastened despite the fault. So the seatbelt's fine. Is it because the seat's not actually connected, or is it something else? Oh, the seat's getting warm now. That's great. So we know that we've now figured out that the module wasn't working, and now the driver's side module, which is on its way, I ordered it from 2 different eBay stores. That's coming on Monday. So again, if I just clean the doobries, the connections, that should be fine. But why? I wonder if there might be a fault I can clear with my ODB, because I took the module out of the seat. maybe, which is getting lovely and warm, which is going to help with the moisture, if there is any left. So we'll leave that on. So I think we should get the seat back on now that we've got a heated seat back up, and let's see if that clearing the fault on my OBD makes any difference whatsoever. So let's figure that one out. Well, I must say I am very happy with those results. Cleaned it out. That deoxit spray, wow, worked really well. Cleaned that up. New module for 25 quid. Great. Heated seat now works. The OBD reader that I plugged in, that I did off camera, actually didn't work. And thinking, going back to the John Cooper work, with the OBD reader, it's okay for like minor things, little issues that we can remove the codes. But when it comes to the bigger things, and I think when you take out the module from under the car, it gives you a pretty serious system error. It's like, oh, it's very serious, there's no module, there's an issue with maybe the restraints and stuff. So I'll pop it back down to Scott at High Q. Scott, thank you so much for all your help, mate. I really appreciate it. We'll wait to get the other module in. That comes on Monday. This is Saturday. That comes on Monday. We'll put the other module in. No doubt it'll kick up another error, because what I did, I was driving the car with the module off. So we'll replace the other module, clean it up, go through the same process, get that module on, and hopefully, fingers crossed, once we clear that issue, this one's pretty much done. So once that's done, I'm hoping that pretty much the car's going to be complete. Got the mats now. Don't want to put them in until I get the ozone compressor, I think it's called, in the car for a day. Let's try and get all of those nasty smells out from the moisture. But I think that'll be pretty much the Orange Mini done. I'll get some nice pictures of it, get it up on eBay, Auto Trader, etc. And let's find a new home for the Orange Mini. So thank you so much for joining us here again on Now We Drive. Hopefully you enjoyed the very quick but quite insightful Orange Mini series. We've got the remap coming this week on the JCW. It's going to be awesome. Obviously we're going to video all of it. Also on Copart this week, I'm going to try and win this Jaguar. So please, it's an amazing, it's a 2015, it's up on Monday. If I can get it for under 10k, there's quite a lot of issues with it. Might need a new engine, but it's the F-Type R, which is like 420 brake horsepower of absolute Jaguar loveliness. It's a weapon of a car. And I've said that before, but it's a fantastic car. It's a 3-litre V6. Looking forward to having a little bit up next week. So that'd be a great addition to the channel. But that's it. That's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining me here on Now We Drive. Stay safe. Don't forget notifications, the bell button, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget I'm on Instagram now. I'll be posting pictures and stuff like that. So it's just at Now We Drive, shocker. And on Facebook as well, which is Facebook Now We Drive. Again, a surprise. So yeah, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon.